So anytime your baby experiences a sudden change in sleep patterns, as if somebody flipped a switch and everything changed overnight, it's hard to say for sure, but that usually signals that some sort of development is impending. So I would notice if perhaps your baby's working really hard on trying to roll over or getting up on their hands and knees in advance of crawling. If they've discovered something new like babbling or peekaboo or their hands. Basically, anytime the brain or the body is really excited about development that's happening or just about to happen, you could see a sudden sharp change in your baby's patterns. And it's a good news, bad news situation. The good news is it will pass just as suddenly. The switch will get flipped back. Suddenly doesn't always mean quickly. It depends what's going on, but suddenly as in, oh my goodness, everything just went back to normal. The bad news is there's nothing you can really do to speed that process along if it is in fact related to development. The other tricky thing is that we often see the sleep disturbance related to the development before we see any visible signs that something's going on. So I just said to you, notice if your baby's trying to roll over and you may say, well, no, I don't see that, so that's not what's happening. I wouldn't be surprised if in a day or a week you do see your baby roll over for the first time and then you say, oh, that is what was happening. So just know that the disruption in the patterns can precede any visible evidence of development, but that can still be what's going on. And then my advice to you in the meantime is just be really careful not to fall back on old habits that you've eliminated to survive these extra wakings or create new habits. So if, for example, you know that your baby can get by at night with 2 night feedings, I would kind of hold them to that standard. You can, of course, respond in other ways to these extra wakings, but it doesn't necessarily mean you need to throw all your good habits out the window unless that's where your comfort level lies and that's what you want to do. So kind of say like something's going on. Here's what we will do to get through, but more importantly, here's what we won't do. And then hopefully that switch will just get flipped and your baby will get back to normal. It could also be a growth spurt, so just pay careful attention to your baby's intake during the day and leading up to the night. Make sure they're getting enough and maybe try adding a little bit extra in to see if that helps, but probably some development going on. Thanks, I hope that helps.